Ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs from all over the world, please make welcome the truth guy, Mr. Home-Based Business himself. The man of the hour, everyone's favorite, Kerry Miller.
And good evening, babe. I'm going to tell you what, I don't think I could do anything more than I do to enjoy more what I do than coming here Monday through Thursday. I mean, to me, it changes my life in a way that it's hard to explain. And, we've talked about dreams and we've talked about want to, and we've talked about whys, and we've talked about, you know, tuning people out and doing all those things that you need to do to be successful in life and to build your business and the things to look for and all that stuff. And so the opportunity to do that and know that in my heart, what I bring to you is something extremely powerful. I love that because I know what it's done for my life. I know where it has taken me and where I've been and what I've done and how I've done it. And it's just one of those special moments in life when you have the opportunity to take what you've been blessed with and share it with others, especially during this Christmas season. And we talked about this the other day. It's that time of year where giving is so important. And I saw some breaking news come out just right before the show. And as many of you know, I'm in the mobile app business, and a large portion of my apps are in the restaurant industry and built apps for the restaurant industry and something that I started doing at the beginning of COVID, and something like 17% of the restaurants have closed and will not open up. And this is the National Restaurant Association just came out with this. So the reason I say that, this makes now even more important than any other time in your life. I mean, businesses are shutting down. People don't know what to do. And this is, I hate to say it, but I've been saying it for months now. We're all sitting back depending on the government to send us another 1,200 or 2,000 or 2,400 or whatever it is. And they came out today and said that's not going to happen. And here we are at this time at Christmas when everybody was hoping that that was going to happen. And they came out today and said, no, it's not. And I hate to say it, but I was right. And we get so wrapped up in what others will do for us that we sit back and say, you know what? I'm not going to do this for myself. I'll wait till somebody else comes along and scoops me up and makes things happen for me. You have got to stop doing that. The only person that will stop you from doing that is you. The only person that will move you forward is you. The only person that will do things for you is you. You can't depend on other people. You can't depend on me. What if something happened to me tomorrow and I don't show up online tomorrow night, and then the next night I'm not online, and you say, gosh, everything I was doing because Kerry told me to, or because Kerry said I needed to. Take what I teach you now, learn from it, move forward, do what you have to do. And if something happens to me, you're on your own. You're coasting down that hill. You got the skis on and you're running fast. You're already up on the triple diamonds. I mean, things are happening for you in your life. Quit depending on everybody else. Of course, you have to learn from other people. Of course, you have to do things in a special way. Of course, you have to understand the directions that you have to go. And that's what I'm here to do, is mentor you. Somebody asked me the other day, and I posted this online in the little thing that said, Kerry, what does your mentor program cost? And I simply said, what is your time worth? And so I posted that as a little, I don't know what you call it, Facebook story. And I had people messaging me saying, Kerry, so what does your course cost? And what I meant by it was, what is your time worth? My courses, teaching you, mentoring you, cost whatever it costs you for your time. I'm not charging you anything. What is your time worth to sit down and learn how to create a recurring revenue system to build recurring wealth in your life to do the things you want to do. What's that worth to you? To sit down with me for 30 minutes or an hour, what's that worth for you? Now, some people say, well, guys, I don't want to hear it. Well, then don't hear it. I could care less because you're not the person I'm talking to. Because see, you've got these two cheeks right here up around your head. And you've not got to a point yet where you feel like you've got to listen to anybody else. You're going to wait till you're in the dumpster. And when you're in the dumpster, you're going to say, God, I wish I'd listened to him. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to comment and say, hey, sorry, I'm past that point now. I'm doing something else. And that's what happens because I'm not going to be around forever. It's not going to happen. And you need to pull your head out of here and start listening now because you're going to be in that place. Now, I'm not talking to everybody. I mean, everybody's got, some money put back that they're going through very rapidly and they're not replacing it. And so you've got a while to coast. But what you have got to do and what you've got to make happen is this. You've got to start listening and you've got to start figuring out and you've got to start planning and you've got to start, taking that whiteboard or that storyboard and figure out which direction you're going to go. And until you do that, it's not going to happen. And until you quit, being proud, and that's why most people fail, that's why most people are broke, is because they're too proud to do anything about it. Pride gets in your way. And until you get the pride out of the way, it's going to be tough. I mean, there's nothing you're going to be able to do. And until that happens, I'm sorry, what do I say? I mean, it's up to you. It's not up to me. I can take you to the water trough, give you fresh, clean drinking water. And until you decide to drink, you're not going to make it happen. So with that said, I want to let you know about a very special Wednesday night. This Wednesday night, our Entrepreneur Spotlight is going to present Chloe Forbes Kinlan. Chloe is an amazing webmaster and a teacher, okay, who gives of herself. Her background is amazing. She is a wonderful human being. She's from Scotland. And I so look forward to her being here Wednesday night. And we're going to do something a little bit different. Of course, we're going to let her tell her story, but I want her to talk to you about why it's important that you have a web presence, why it's important that you build a brand, why it's important that you do those things. And we're going to have Chloe on here on Wednesday night. Really looking forward to it. Guys, I'm going to take a quick break, take a quick swig of water, and I will be right back.
Thank you for being a part of the Truth Guide broadcast. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at KerryMillerTV. And of course, listen to the Truth Guide podcast on the go at thetruthguidepodcast.com. And now welcome back your host, Mr. Home-Based Business himself, the Truth Guy, Kerry Miller.
All right, and we're back. And hey, please follow us on our social media pages. I'm not the best social media guy in the world. I don't do a lot of stuff. I just post what I post, but there might be a golden nugget in there. So make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. Hopefully you're watching this on Facebook right now. If not, please make sure you follow us and like us on Facebook at KerryMillerTV on all the platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm getting into Twitter more. That's how I actually met Chloe, and she's going to be on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. We're really looking forward to her. So just follow us on those channels and looking forward to that. And I am going to start talking about this. Preparing your new startup, your home business. What does it take to do that? I mean, we've talked about making sure you're ready, turning off the noise, all those things we talked about at the beginning of the show. You've got to start with that. Now you're going to sit back and you're going to say, okay, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to make this happen. I'm ready to really jump out there and start preparing. I'm ready to really do these things that are going to be really cool. And I know which direction I'm going, and I kind of know what product I want to do. I've still got to think about that a little bit, but we're in the startup phase now. Okay, now's when all the pieces are going to start coming together, and you're going to start realizing what you're going to do, and you're going to start realizing what you're going to make happen. And what's going to be really cool is when it all comes together, you're going to step back and say, wow, I did this. I was actually able to make this happen. So let's talk about something real quick here. Let's talk about your inventory or no inventory. Okay. Inventory or no inventory. Think about that for a moment. What do I mean by inventory or no inventory? I have product still in my warehouse, okay, that I haven't sold. Why is it there? Because I stopped the marketing. I sold what I wanted to sell. Um, you have to buy X amount. Okay. When you buy something in order to get the price down, in order to make it profitable, so that you have the rate of return that you want, so that your ROI, your return on investment, exceeds that. And now I use them as giveaways. So don't think that they're just going to waste. Now I use them as giveaways. But I want you to think about something. Do you want to warehouse items? Do you want to have to deal with China? Do you want to have to deal with Alibaba? Do you want to have to deal with all of these overseas shipping venues? And that, I don't care what you think, that's where you're going to get your product from. You know, you're going to have to buy it from the source. Yeah, you can buy it from here in the States, but that just means that they acquired it from overseas and they had to tack on their profit. So you're going to pay more for it. So you want to purchase it direct from the manufacturer. Then you've got to have a place to store it. You have to buy X amount of inventory in order to keep the prices down. So do you want to do that? Brick and mortar stores do it every day. You know, they have X amount of inventory on their floor. Every square foot of space has to create an X amount and generate X amount of money in order to pay the overhead, in order to make a profit in the store. So if you're paying, $3 a square foot for the store, that square foot of inventory has to make $3 to break even, just to pay the store. If you're paying your employees and everything works out to about $5.25 a square foot, then what's going to happen? You've got to make $5.25 a square foot in order to make a profit. That's the way brick and mortar works. I don't care what it is. If you've got a restaurant and you've got 100 seats, every seat has to make X amount of money per day in order to break even. There's no question to it. Restaurants are the tightest margins in the world. How do I know that? Because I grew up in one. All right. I grew up in my father's restaurant, started cooking when I was 7 years old. I understand margins because of my dad. I understand tight margins because I watched him count the pickles on a hamburger. I understand what return on investment means because I grew up watching my father analyze every single thing he did in order to profit off of that pickle on that hamburger, in order to profit off of every seat. Okay, my mother's side, they were all in retail. My grandfather was a retail genius. He was an accountant for Woolworth. And then when he left Woolworth, he started opening 5 and dime stores. And some of you may not know what those are, but let's compare it to the dollar stores today. And he opened up a string of those. And he had to have huge amounts of inventory in all of those stores. And every square inch, he knew down to the square inch how much he had to make. I was raised in return on investment. I knew more about return on investment than I did brushing my teeth or combing my hair by the time I was 6 years old, because I was engrossed in it. And it was something that literally changed my life. There's one thing I learned after my last go around with warehousing product. I would never do that again. It's expensive. It costs a lot to market. You have to manage that inventory at the end of the year. You have to do everything you have to do. You have to take your losses. It's just, and the longer it sits there, the more useless it becomes, especially when it comes to technology. So you have to decide now, okay, you're ready to go. But now there's some little decisions you have to make. Am I going to go with inventory or no in? Am I going to have a product sitting on a shelf hoping to sell it? Or am I going to do what's called drop ship? Have someone else ship it, have someone else make it, have someone else warehouse it, and all I have to do is make sure that product is moved. That's the most important decision you're going to make, because that means how much money you have to lay out of your pocket in order to make money. Now, there's one thing I believe in. I believe in drop shipping. I believe in somebody else producing it, and I believe in them shipping it and me making a check. That's the end game. Okay? There is no other way around that. That's the only thing someone needs to do. That's the only place you need to go. So if you're thinking something else, awesome. And I'm more than happy to help you with that. Matter of fact, I'll show you how to order it offline. But know that I do not support that decision, because it's extremely expensive. If you want to go blow $50,000 on product or $100,000 on product, by all means do that. But let me warn you first. When those around you that told you, hey, you're probably not going to do very well ordering all these widgets, all right, and setting them in your garage, because now you have no place to park your car, and when a hailstorm comes, your car is going to get hit with hail, and you still got a garage full of widgets. So widgets are hard. Product is hard. Okay, it's hard to move. Move somebody else's product. Let somebody else manufacture it. You don't need to brand anything. You move someone else's product. There are billionaires being made today off of Amazon moving other people's products. Major millionaires. Okay. So, hey, we're going to take a quick break. Before we take a quick break, don't forget, Chloe Forbes Kalen will be on Wednesday night. She's a web designer, an amazing person with an amazing personality. And we're going to allow her to share with you why you need to be branded, why you need a website, why you need a presence in the market that way. We'll be right back. Everybody hold your shorts. 30 seconds.
Thank you for being a part of the Truth Guy broadcast. We look forward to seeing you Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time as Kerry shares his insight in helping you build your dream and success. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at KerryMillerTV. And of course, listen to the Truth Guy podcast on the go at thetruthguypodcast.com. And now welcome back your host, Mr. Home-Based Business himself, the Truth Guy, Kerry Miller.
And do not forget, Chloe will be here on Wednesday night. You do not want to miss that show. And we are back, and thank you for being here with us. My name is Kerry Miller. I am the Truth Guy. The next thing we're going to talk about is online e-commerce. I've probably built, 4 or 5 stores in the last 3 years online. The last store I built cost me about $25,000 by the time I got it done. Cost me another, $150,000 in inventory. So I had a couple $100,000 in my e-commerce store. That's when I realized, what are you doing, you big dummy? I told myself I would never, ever do that again. Once I got out of the product business, once I moved away from that, I said, why are you doing that? I want to be online, obviously. I want to move online products, obviously. I mean, look at the place where we are today. You have to move online products, and you want somebody to pay for it online. You don't want to have to deal with it. It cost me thousands and thousands of dollars just to process credit cards. Do you really want to do that? Do you want to have to take care of unsubscribes? Do you want to have to take care of all that? Why not just worry about what's coming into your account and not what's going out? That's what you call great margins. That's when you are taking in income, okay? More income here, less income going out, which increases your margins and your rate of return on money and puts you in a place to where you can do what? You can be extremely profitable, create a nice recurring revenue business from online. It's very hard to create a recurring revenue business from a store. Now, you say, well, Kerry, wait a minute. You said the other day that brick and mortar, they have a recurring model. That's not what I said. I said that you could look at it as a recurring model if the customer keeps coming back and purchasing from you over and over again. I mean, blue jeans wear out. You got to keep changing your oil. But this is what happens in that market. They're not giving you a credit card or debit card that you're debiting every single month, okay, or an ACH where it comes out of your checking account automatically. They're not giving you that if you've got a brick and mortar, unless you're shipping something to them every single month from your store, which doesn't happen very often. Now, a lot of stores are starting to get into those models. The number one right now in that model from a brick and mortar are your coffee shops. They're setting up memberships for coffee. Why? Because people love their coffee or they wouldn't come there. So what have they done during this COVID period? They started shipping out coffee that they're grinding in their stores to their customers, and people are paying every month. They get on a recurring revenue membership model in order to do that. So what happens is you're going to create that model. But I don't know if you want to set up grinding coffee, purchase coffee, and on all those things. I had a very good friend, watched him grow up, felt really bad, who went in that business and not sure exactly what happened, but his business is no longer running. You know, it's a tough business to get into. There again, be online, have an e-comm business, and then use someone else's product, someone else's card processing system, let them ship it and make the profits. Your margins go like this, right through the roof, right through the roof. And finally, let's talk about this. Get ready, get set. Don't go yet, because you got to figure out those first two things before you go. You're almost ready. You're getting there, okay? You're getting there. It's a place that you're at that is absolutely phenomenal. And you've started tuning out the noise and you got away from all that crap. And you're saying, you know what? I'm going for it. I wake up every morning and I'm excited. I'm going to make this happen. Kerry, I'm going to show you that I'm not a quitter, that I'm a winner, and we're going to cross that finish line together. We're going to climb Mount Everest. We're going to plant that flag of success, and we're going to make things happen like you've never seen before. That's what I'm going to do, and that's what I'm going to make happen. And I want you to watch me do that journey. And when we do it together, you can come on my Wednesday night entrepreneur show, and we're going to tell the world all about it. And because that's what it's all about, right? There's nothing like winning. You know, I grew up in I grew up in that make everybody feel good era right in the beginning. I mean, my kids did right there when everybody, you know, got a trophy. I hated that. Let me tell you something. I grew up when second place, you were the first loser. You know, that's how I grew up. That's how I learned. And I know second place is okay, and third place is you should have worked a little bit harder, and fourth place you might as well just stayed home. But you got to go out there and give it the old get up and go, right? You got to get out there and make it happen. But I want you to be first place. I don't want you to think about second place. I don't want you to think about a plan B. I want you to think about a model that's going to take you everywhere you want to go, to take you to a place that you'll understand. And when people look at you, they say, gosh, I want what they have. I want to feel what they feel. Hey, did you see Robert? Him and his family's going to the Bahamas for Christmas. How long are they going for? The whole Christmas break. Wouldn't that be awesome? What keeps you from doing that? I don't know. You tell me. I can't tell you what keeps you from doing that. I'm going to tell you, nothing keeps me from doing that. Because I'm going to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it. You know, if I got to go like today, in the middle of the day, I had a couple hour break. I went and got my tire changed. You know, matter of fact, I called one of my buddies out in Arizona who sold a bunch of apps and some coupons, and we're going to get those built and get those sent out. And I was talking to him on the bench while I was talking to some friends that was up at the tire shop. You know, that's the kind of life you want to live. Wake up every morning to be happy. Wake up every morning to be thankful. Wake up every morning and say, I'm going to give it 110% and nothing's going to stop me. And if you will do that, nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, will stop you. With that said, please be here. Don't miss this show on Wednesday night. The Entrepreneur Spotlight with Chloe Forbes Cleveland, straight out of Scotland. And looking forward to having her. Going to be so excited to see her. Hey, with that said, we're going to get out of here. And I hope everybody has a good night. God bless you. We will see you tomorrow night as we pick up right here where we're at. Take us out of here, Frankie, my good buddy.